Day 10 of these ghostly tales. Tonight's story is about the Simonside Hills and the Degar which is said to roam around these hills up in Northumberland. The Degar is said to be a small, dwarf-like creature who were guardians of the mountainside, but they are also tricksters. They would lead weary travellers through marshland and boggy areas, or they would lead them up perilous tracks up the crag sides where they could fall to their death, leading them with lights or strange noises to tempt them to follow. The story involves two poachers who had been up on the mountainside most of the day hunting for rabbits and small game. As the night started to approach, they decided they would need cover for the night, as they would not get back home in time before the darkness. They found a very small hut and went into the hut and started to make a campfire. They started also to make a bit of a stew from the rabbits they had caught and a few bits of veg what they had found. Not long after starting to cook their tea, a strange small creature came into the hut what they were in. It looked at them and said, "Who are the fools who've come into my abode, who have disturbed my camp?" The eldest of the two poachers looked at him and said, "I apologise, Lord of the manor. It is us. We were weary travellers and we needed somewhere to rest, and we've just came in here. We decided to make some soup, which you may share with us, and you may take these game birds what we have found for payment for your kind and generous time of allowing us to stay here." The little creature looked at them and ran and just jumped onto a wood stump where he sat just watching them. The first of the two lads fell asleep, but the eldest one knew that to fall asleep would mean the demise of them both. So all night he sat and just waited, and just sat until daylight, looking at the Degar, this creature who was watching and staring at them without saying any word. Then, just as daylight started to break, the eldest of them could take no more, and he too dropped asleep. Luckily for him, he fell asleep just as the sun was coming up. But he didn't sleep long, and soon was awake. And when he awoke, much to his amazement, the small hut what they thought they were in, with a little campfire, was no more than a few stones, and the wood he had been sitting on was overlooking a sheer drop over the top of a cliff. The Degar had tricked them, and he had realised, because he had stayed awake all night, he had saved them both from a assured death. So if you're ever up in Simonside Hills and you get lost, be careful of any lights what you may see and which you may think may lead to your safety, because they could be the tricksters of the Degar trying to fool you and entice you into the bogs, or to entice you over the top of the cliffs.